If you're getting 20, 30, maybe even 50 DMs per day, and you're manually handling every single one of them yourself, or maybe you have a team of DM setters or just one DM setter in place, but the conversion rate is low and you don't fully trust the team. If you've got qualified people slipping through the cracks because you can't keep up, if you're the only person who can close the deals in your business and you're absolutely exhausted from it, then this video is going to show you exactly how we took Liam Fitzgerald drowning in DM chaos and turned it into $106,494 and created a predictable revenue system without him touching a single DM. And if you stay until the end, I'm going to show you the exact framework we used and also the specific bottleneck that was costing him 6 figures and why his problem had nothing to do with getting more leads. Let's get into it. So when we first started with Liam, he had built an amazing brand. He had built a very big personal brand, and if you check him out on Instagram, he's got quite a big following. The problem is that the following is great, but for vanity metrics, it just does that. It's vanity metrics. It feels good, and there's a lot of people reaching out, but he just didn't know how to transfer that from people reaching out to becoming paid clients. So if you can imagine, his DMs were kind of chaotic. There's a lot of people reaching out saying, hey, I want to work with you, I want to work with you, and he didn't really have a system of how do I take this person from complete stranger to becoming a client. And that's just the DMs. In the comment section, there was a lot more of that. People always engaging and raising their hand and saying, hey, I'd like to work with you. And for him, he just didn't have a way to take those raised hands into becoming something special. So he was amazing at getting eyeballs, and he was really good at getting the raised hands, but he just didn't know what he needed to do to get them over the hump to become clients. And let's be real, if you're a founder, if you're someone who's built a brand, like a personal brand, it's very hard for you to do the personal branding, the marketing, the content, just continuously put your creative hat on, but then also to fulfill, to actually reach out, respond to every text, every email, every comment, and then just make sure that you're actually taking that person from complete stranger to a client. So because of that, some people were getting answered in 10 minutes, some people were getting answered in a couple of days. And there was no real way for him to really filter out and know who's serious or who's just being a tire kicker. So that's why it was unsustainable. And at that level, when it's unsustainable and it's chaotic, you can't scale chaos. Growth meant more chaos, not more profit. And if he steps away for a single day, the whole thing crumbles. By the way, real quick, if you're watching this and you're thinking, hey, this is exactly what's happening in my business right now, I've got a link in the description for you to book a diagnostic call with me. We'll look at your DMs, look at your current process, and show you exactly where the revenue is leaking. No pitch, just a real breakdown of what's broken and how to fix it. Links in the description. All right, back to the framework. So when he came to us, we had to do the first step, which is the audit. Our audit was looking into exactly what was going on, how many DMs were being missed, how many comments were being missed, how many people are actually serious to work with him, and how many are just tire kickers just wanting to say hello and just hoping to get a response from him because he's such a big name. Now, what we found is that the demand was over the roof high. Everyone wanted to work with him. Everyone loved the personal brand he built, but we had to filter out and make sure who can afford it, who's going to actually put in the work, who's actually going to actually implement the stuff, and who was just going ahead and just reaching out for the sake of reaching out. The mindset we wanted to adapt here was that we wanted to leave people better than where we found them. If they were wanting to become a one-on-one client, fantastic. If they couldn't afford that level and they wanted maybe like a more group coaching level, fantastic. We would take them down that route. Or if they didn't have a penny to their name, we didn't want to just kick them to the curb. We wanted to at least give them something for their time just to be able to do that. Now, here's the difference. If Liam was giving them one thing for their time just for jumping on calls, he'd be in his DMs all day, nonstop, every single day. So being able for us to help him assist with that, just putting in the implementation systems, really went from completely just giving everyone a shot to figuring out which bucket each person belonged in. Meaning, once we got in, we needed to be able to qualify, book, have that person show up, close the deal, and collect the payment. And the people who weren't qualified, we would just give them something to help them solve the problem on their own time without it costing Liam's time. Hey, if you're still watching this, I have a 17-minute video that breaks down exactly how I was able to help Ashton Hall, the morning routine guy with the water in his face, go from $72,000 a month to $380,000 a month in 4 months before he even became famous. He had the same followers, he had the same content, he had the same offer. The only issue is that every day his team was getting in the leads, but they were letting a lot of deals fall through the crack. Things were a little bit messy behind the scenes, things weren't really tracked properly or followed up correctly, so we came in and helped fix the entire system. Go ahead and watch that video next after this one. It's going to be in the link in the description below, and you can go ahead and actually implement this into your own business starting today. Now, instead of chaos in the DMs, we actually have stages. We have people going through these stages, and we took over the execution completely. They didn't really have to implement anything. This meant that the system could run whether he was awake or whether he was offline. And unfortunately, in the world of business coaching or biz op out there, a lot of people try to coach you on how to do this, but they don't do it for you. We don't like this coaching stuff. We like the done for you method. We want to just take over and just make your life easier. And that's what we did with him. Now let's dig a little bit deeper into how we helped qualify. Now pay attention, because this is the most important part. We're not trying to get every single human being booked on a sales call. We want to make sure that we filter right. Now, this all starts from the call to action. You want to call out your exact audience. And that's what we did with him. We got him to write calls to action that were just very specific on saying, hey, if you're serious about change and you're willing to invest your time, effort, energy, and finances into becoming a better version of yourself and working with me one-on-one, click the word coach down below and I'll reach out to you personally. Now, just because someone answers that doesn't mean that they are qualified. So there's still a deeper level of qualification, which means digging in, asking them more questions, asking them, hey, what do you do for a living? What's the goal? Have you ever worked with a coach before? If it made sense for us to work together, would you be okay with investing in yourself? We treated everyone equal, and we wanted to make sure that we gave everyone the opportunity to showcase how serious they were to work with us. More importantly, we still wanted to ask the golden 5 questions. What's not working for you right now? What's the goal? What have you tried? Why is this important for you to fix right now? Do you want help? If someone was able to answer those questions, they were qualified to working with us. Then we asked them a financial qualifier to see if they're willing to invest with us. Huge difference between someone willing to do the work and a huge difference between someone who's willing to invest to do the work. Now, when someone wasn't willing to invest or just didn't have the right finances or the mental mindset to go into actually working with someone, we would take them one route and give them some tools, wish them the very best. Like I said, we want to leave people better than where we found them. But when someone showed that they were actually serious and willing to actually put in the effort, energy, and finances to actually step forward and work with us, more of a deeper connection, we would get them onto a sales call. Now, before we booked the call, we also wanted to make sure that they were going to show up to this call. We would ask them questions like, are you sure you're willing to commit to this call? I take my time and my sales team's time very, very seriously. Are you willing to put in the effort and make sure that you do not miss this call no matter what happens? Is there any reason why you wouldn't be able to show up to this call? This did 2 parts. 1, we held them accountable for the actual coaching part because this is what we were trying to show. And 2, we held them accountable for actually showing up and making a difference. We also made sure that these calls weren't booked weeks out in advance. These were within the first 2 days of the conversation. Reason being, if a call happens in a week from now, they're most likely to forget about it. But if it's in the next 48 hours, they're less likely to forget. Then we would also follow up with them and make sure that they were committed to showing up to that call. Now, the reminders we sent were all automated and manual. A lot of people think that you can automate everything. I think manual actions still have to happen. So we had DMs sent out, we had text go out, we had emails go out. We wanted to make sure 24 hours, 2 hours, 15 minutes that we were going to have a person show up for the call. Booking the call is only half the battle. They still have to show up to that call. So those reminders, even though they may feel like redundant, we needed to make sure so that we can take the show rate from 50% to 82%. The reason being is every no-show is wasted time and lost revenue. Positioning in reminders, pre-frames, and conversation, this creates consistency and also professionalism, but at the same time holds them accountable. Now, the actual metrics. Like I said at the beginning, we were able to generate over $160,000 in cash collected. That's not even cash contracted, it's just what we collected. We were able to maintain above a 25% close rate, which may sound a little bit low, but we also wanted to make sure that people we were working with weren't struggling to work with us. We wanted to make sure that these were good people who were jumping in. So out of every 4 calls, 1 was closed. Now, I'm not here to inflate and tell you, oh, we had a 35, 45% close rate. I'm not here to tell you that at all, because we had multiple closers, some good, some bad, but the average ended up being 25%. And the deal sizes ranged from $3,000 to $4,500. Now, at the beginning, I was telling you about the bottleneck that we were able to fix. And this bottleneck was missed revenue, leaks throughout the funnel from beginning to end. Every stage that I just covered, every part of this had a big leak before we showed up. So we were able to help make sure that every single part was fixed. And not just duct tape. We wanted to make sure we welded these leaks shut, so that rather than deals falling into a black hole and then never being heard from again, we actually had a system continuously to push people forward to become clients. Now, most coaches or consultants stop here, but realistically, if you've had good results with someone, they're gonna want to continue. So what did we do? We built a system that builds MRR. If you don't know what MRR means, it means monthly recurring revenue. Meaning, when someone graduates working with you and they've had a great experience, we get a testimonial from them. And then once they've given us a testimonial and they've said some amazing things about us because they got results, we ask them, do you want to continue working together? And of course, the majority say yes. Now, I have to clarify something. This means you have to be able to get people results. This isn't something where you can just say, you can't half-ass this. You can't just kind of get people a little bit of something. You need to make sure that you actually deliver something solid for people. So if your fulfillment is bad, if you don't have a good product, then don't even try doing this. But if you actually have a good product, if you actually have something that gets people results like we do, then people will be wanting to give you testimonials and they'll want to continue with you. And that's how you build MRR. All right, so just to recap what we covered, we walked through how we took Liam Fitzgerald and we took him from complete DM chaos to $166,000 plus, $447 was the number at the end in predictable revenue. We show you the exact framework, qualification, booking, get people to show up, optimization, and just tracking these numbers so you can actually know what you're doing. We broke down the numbers, the bottleneck, we fixed the why systems beat the hustle every single time. Now, here's the thing. If you're dealing with this right now, if your DMs are flooding in, leads are slipping through, and you're the bottleneck in your own sales process, then you don't need more leads, you need infrastructure. And that's exactly what we install for coaches, consultants, and agency owners. Just to be clear, people who already have a demand, we can help. If you're brand new to coaching, consulting, or you don't have eyeballs on your offer, we can't help. But if you have eyeballs, if you have people who want to raise their hands, if you have people who want to work with you, but you just don't know how to take them from complete stranger to client, then there's a link in the description. Go ahead and book your 30-minute diagnostic call with either me or my team, and we'll go through DMs, your CRMs, your ads. We'll just look at your numbers and show you exactly what it's costing you revenue-wise and how we can fix it. This is not a sales pitch. It's not a hard close at all. It's just a diagnostic where you'll walk away with clarity whether you work with us or not. So click the link in the description, and I'll see you on the call.